Phighting Phorensics is a series that I am doing which is going to tell you the basics of each character and how to play said character, while also giving some good general tips. At the end of the day, this game is meant to be fun. Play how you want to play. And if you have any tips of your own, leave a comment down below to share with others. This guide will be focusing on who is BANHAMMER. BANHAMMER is a tanky melee fighter that instead of having a high health pool, he has shields. Having moves in his kit that can let him regain his shields, allowing him to be a self-sustaining character. To counteract BANHAMMER's tankiness, his mobility isn't the best compared to more nimble characters, but you can still get around better than some of the slower characters. If you like playing a tanky character that can self-sustain themselves while dealing some respectable damage, then playing BANHAMMER might be the one for you. Passive, Oathbound. BANHAMMER takes reduced knockback but cannot regenerate shields naturally like other characters. He can regain a portion of his shields on every elimination, and when he gets an elim, he causes an explosion that deals damage. Another thing to keep in mind is that his shields stay indefinitely until you take damage, but there's a cap to the shields. Left click, Prosecution. Swing your hammer in front of you. This has a wide hitbox, so it's going to be hard to miss if you're standing right next to somebody. You can't jump while you're swinging the hammer though. Right click, Order. Slam your hammer down like you're about to solo shatter the enemy Mercy, dealing damage and gaining shields. It does more damage and gives more shields the closer you are to the enemy. The right click is one of the ways you're able to sustain yourself, so try your best to make sure you land this move. This move also pulls enemies slightly towards you, allowing you to follow up with other moves. Q ability, Disposition. Point out your hand like you're summoning a stand, then Hulk jump forward towards the direction you're facing. Pressing the button again will let you slam onto the ground, dealing damage. You can change how high or far you can jump by the direction of your camera. You can also cancel this move by using one of your other moves. Personally, I don't cancel this with another move because you lose the damage from the Q ability. But you could do some sick plays that will surprise your opponent, like using Q straight into an ultimate move, which I'll talk more about later. This move can be used for engaging or disengaging combat. E ability, Litigation. Do a small hop forward, then start performing spin jitsu, with every enemy hit causing the spin to last longer and give more shields. The little hop can help you close the distance. Then the damage from the E ability will let you gain a bunch of shields while doing some decent damage. The spin will end early if you're not hitting anybody with it, so using this against somebody with no to low mobility is just a bunch of free shields. I like this move more to regain my shields than the right click because it has the possibility to gain more and reach the cap faster. Ultimate, Judgment. Drop a cage around you, grabbing anyone close to you. Then swing your hammer on them. If the enemy's below 50%, this move insta-kills them. It allows you to refresh your ultimate and recast your ult up to 5 times. So on paper, you can wipe out a whole team. But that's the problem. On paper, this ult sounds good, but in reality, you are not going to manage to hit 5 people before you die. Or somebody can get healed in the middle of your ult animation, causing them to go above 50% and losing your ult. The most I've ever managed to get was 3. I mainly found the best use of this when I wanted an easy kill instead of wasting other moves putting them on cooldown. Another use that can be good for the ult is if it's on overtime. On King of the Hill, people are going to be wanting to stay on point, so it'll be easy to get multiple kills with the ult since they can't run off point. Banhammer's playstyle is another simple one, and all it is just existing. You're probably wondering what I mean by this. Well, first of all, since you're considered a tank, you are going to be the one who's in the front lines, for an example, standing on point for King of the Hill and killing anybody on point. But that's a playstyle if you want to actually win games. The way I like to play Banhammer is to pretend I'm just a fat DPS, going around trying to get as many kills as possible. In a fair 1v1, Banhammer wins most matchups against characters, if you manage to get close to them, which leads to Banhammer's biggest weakness, range. Banhammer is a pretty big target, so range characters can really hard counter you if you let them. To go around this weakness, use cover around the map to prevent taking damage. His second weakness is that he's slow, and I mean very slow without his Q ability. Literally the reason I stopped playing this character. So, when you use your Q move to dive somebody, do it in smaller groups, preferably more immobile characters, or have just used their escape moves. Now, something new I wanted to add to these videos is team compositions that would be best for these characters. Some good characters to play Banhammer with is Banhammer plus Boombox. This duo can have a Boombox give the Banhammer more speed so he's able to chase down targets. Banhammer plus another dive character such as Skateboard or Biograph. You and your partner will both communicate on who you want to target and both jump said target. And last team comp I like is Banhammer plus Katana. Katana is able to hook enemies in and slow them down, so Banhammer has an easier time gaining shields and dealing damage. Combos. Banhammer is pretty easy and doesn't even need to do combos to get value for the character. But I'll give you 2 examples of combos, one being with his ult and one without. The combo without the ultimate. Q to dive in, then make sure you land your Q on them, then right click as soon as possible to pull in the target even closer to you. Hold E and try your best to stay close to the target if they try to run away. If they still have HP left, just left click a couple times. The combo with the ultimate is almost the same as the first one, but instead of trying to spin as long as possible, you try to get them to half HP, then ult them. I hope you learned something from this video, so now go out and serve justice in some fighting servers with Banhammer.